everyone, I'm Jin. I just came back from Japan a few days ago. It was a nice trip that I believe for those who have been to Japan might agree with me. Actually, I can speak a few basic Japanese as I learned how to speak it and how to write it when I was a college student in Taiwan a few years ago. However, it was a long time ago, so I had to admit that my Japanese has become rusted over time of not using it. Instead, during this period, I use more of English more than Japanese. Interestingly, my English therefore has become much better than my Japanese. Consequently, many people like me might also find that their language that they normally use quite a lot has become rusted over time. So this time when I came back to Japan for a short trip, I try to interact with the locals as much as possible. One occasion that struck me the most was a Korean who could speak Japanese fluently. When I was having a chit chat with her, I found that she traveled to Japan uh, by solo. Uh, then, when I asked why she's in Japan, she told me that as a Korean, she really liked to learn about the culture in Japan and the way they interact with each other. From many Taiwanese perspective, and because they have a kind of stereotype that Korean have sort of a negative opinion about Japan. Of course, there are some bright side about Japan from Koreans' view. But having chat with her, I found that this kind of stereotype might be just a small portion of people who still have this kind of thinking in their mind. But when they step into the soil of Japan, many tend to be more open-minded. So I really encourage everyone who are traveling abroad or wants to travel to other country to think outside the box, not really stick to what they have heard from the friends or other people about what kind of people typically are in other places. Speaking of my Japanese, when I was interacting with that Korean, we actually interact in Japanese. She was quite patient with my terrible Japanese, which was quite hilarious. Well, also she told me that she actually learned how to speak Japanese longer than me, and she didn't have any formal training like me. Instead, she had a daughter who studied and worked in Japan. So when her daughter come back to Korea, she would taught her some basic Korean. Then when she can get a hand of Japanese, then she decided to come to Japan with her family and her daughter. And sometimes she would have a short trip on her own, which is quite incredible considering her age. She is quite brave and not really worried about her Japanese, her ability to speak Japanese fluently. So I think that it demonstrated how powerful braveness and the way you can think outside the box is, because by doing so, you are more likely to have good conversation and deeper understanding of the local culture. And this is something that AI can't replace, even though we might think that we no longer need to learn second language when we are traveling to a foreign country. We can solely rely on translator like AI to help us to communicate with locals. However, the opposite is true. When you can directly speak from your mouth, you actually build stronger connection and deeper understanding with the culture. Also, when you're communicating with the locals, they might be really quite interested in you personally instead of simply about the country that you're coming from. For example, this time when I was in Japan, I was having a conversation with a staff in the hotel. He was a quite young and handsome boy. When I started to communicate with him in Japanese, he was really taken aback by my Japanese. Actually, when he was complimenting about my Japanese without any foreign accent, I was really a bit of shocked by what he said. Little did I know that I could speak Japanese much better than I thought. So then I realized that the best way to learn a foreign language fast is really speak up loud and interact with the locals. This way you can not only grasp the culture and the way how native speakers use the language, but you can also really wrap your head around of how language is used. In addition, language is not just a tool, it is a way to understand the roots of the culture. Not only so, it also can open doors to many opportunities, such as broaden your social connection, and even can accidentally build even further connection to other peoples. It can be either connect you to a CEO or whoever who have power than the one who you're interacting with. So I really encourage everyone not to solely rely on AI to help you with communication. Also, when you can speak the local language, it can also help you with critical thinking and break down the cultural and language barriers. So this is what I want to talk in this video. I hope you can get some insights, but just take this for just take this for a grain of salt, because it can't just simply watching a video and think, okay, yes, you agree with all these points. It's actually more important for you to not only have this idea or theory in mind, and you also need to put this into practice and go to the world outside of your bubble and to learn the world from your own experience and perspective. This way not only helps you to strengthen your critical thinking skills, but also fall in love with this world.